Hello, this is Tom, aka Zedion, here for Tabletop Tap Room. We've been on vacation for a couple of weeks and we're back. And sadly, today it's not with good news. But before I get to that, let me just say thanks for watching the video. Thanks to my subscribers. You guys are great. And if you've not subscribed, please do hit the like, subscribe bell icon, help me build the channel. And moving right along, today we have in the news the Baldur's Gate controversy. Wizards and Hasbro are mainstreaming something that has never been mainstreamed before. Let me just say right up front, a disclaimer, this is going to border on some uncomfortable topics. But I want to take it in a different direction. I want to remind us all about the satanic panic. And what went on in the 80s is that you had people who were linking Dungeons and Dragons to Satanism. And, you know, we look back now, it's kind of laughable, especially those of us who are, we played D&D back then, and we happen to be religious today. We kind of look at it and go, yeah, you know, just no. And so it is laughable today, and I actually think the satanic panic is bigger today than it was back then. I think memory magnifies it, and my biggest problem was not my religious mother going after my D&D books. Was keeping her from finding out what the lyrics were to some of my AC/DC songs. Was my biggest problem. So that really doesn't fit the satanic panic. So we look back now and it is laughable. And, you know, like my stepson's playing D&D and I don't even know what his perception of the satanic panic is, but I'm sure that he must shake his head and find it funny. But at its core, what was happening was Dungeons and Dragons was being linked to something distasteful that people found distasteful, that made them uncomfortable. And when you linked the two, it was like, oh, we must push back on that and get it away from us, get it away from our kids, burn those books, take them out of the library. And I have heard of book burnings and, people who tell me today that they had to go back out and buy all their D&D books a second time. Type of thing. So I'm sure all of that happened, not to minimize anybody's experience, but at the core, it was the linking of something distasteful and there really shouldn't have been a link. And we have that history playing out again today, in that this very distasteful, perverted thing is being linked. Is going to be linked to Dungeons and Dragons, and that's being done by Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. They're doing that by putting out that video game. They're the ones who are going to, they're the ones making that linkage. That can't be helped. And in the minds of a lot of people, they're going to link the two. The two are going to become inseparably linked, and then they're going to go, yeah, it wasn't linked to that Satanism stuff. People will remember that and go, was it? Oh yeah, just stay away from it. So I think what we're facing in the hobby is a second go around of of a historical event. I remember in college a professor talking about the Salem witch trials as the last knee-jerk gasp of the Inquisition. Part of the Inquisition was, searching out witches and, getting rid of them. And I thought, but that they weren't Catholics that were doing the witch trials, but he, made that case. And I think what you're going to see is a second last gasp of the satanic panic coming up because of this Baldur's Gate controversy, this undeniable linking of Dungeons and Dragons with this very distasteful thing that has never been mainstream before. There's a 600-year history on the word that I could put to this thing. And for 600 years, it's been, we don't talk about that in polite society. It's perverted. We push it to the side. But now we have a major corporation making it mainstream. And this is why we've got to draw a line. We do not want to turn this corner. We do not want to normalize this kind of activity. So we as good people, whoever you are, religious, non-religious, whatever, we need to say no. We're drawing a line here. We're not normalizing this. This is not going to be normalized in our society. And so my call is to you to ban, to boycott Baldur's Gate, and not give your money to Wizards of the Coast, not give your money to Hasbro, and just say no. Just say no to Hasbro. So this is Tom for Tabletop Tap Room, signing out. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks to my subscribers. Apologies for touching on a distasteful subject. I've done it as delicately as I can. And keep on gaming, just not with anything from Hasbro or Baldur's Gate.